Greetings. Things in Times, World Jam Global, we're there with you. So we say greetings to management team, engineer, technicians, and fellow World Jam Global presenters. The sun is shining, yeah. The wedding, yeah, man. So we'll go straight in there because we have things to do.
People, what is the cause of all the trouble in the world? Things and times so hard, no peace, no day, the vengeance of Jaja, it must be on the land. It must be on the land. Yes, what we have to do. Money can't help you. Rich man up feeling too. The vengeance is on the land. The vengeance is on the land. All together now. Fittest of the fittest shall survive. The strongest of the strongest stay alive. A weak heart shall take a swallow die. If you have strong faith, you will stay alive. If you live with love, you shall survive. Things and times so tough, oh yeah. Don't it get so tough? We never get enough. The vengeance is on the land. The vengeance is on the land, yeah. Cause of all the trouble in the world today. Tell me, things and times so hard, no peace, no day, the vengeance of Jaja, it must be on the land, it must be on the land, yes. What we have to do. Money can't help you, oh no. Rich man up feel it too. The vengeance is on the land. The vengeance is on the land, my brother. It is up to the shall survive. Yeah, yeah. The strongest of the strongest stay alive. A weak heart shall take a swallow dive. If you have strong faith, you will stay alive. If you live with love, you shall survive. Live with love, my brother. Yeah. People, what is the cause of all the trouble in the world? No peace, no day, the vengeance of Jaja, it must be on the land, it must be on the land.
Yes, we remind you to remind myself and my family. The new Beacon Bookshop, 76 Strawgreen Road, Finsbury Park, R Road leads to Finsbury Park, N4, 3EN. This bookshop is our heritage and our legacy and our history in London, even England. So we are say that as a people, we need to support this bookshop. We need to, those who haven't paid a visit already and those who have, continue to tell others. You understand? Because one of the main ingredients is that we have transition here. We haven't fall off the side. And it's just something that happened and gone. This is a transition from parents to children to grandchildren. Wonderful. Beautiful experience. Those who to say things, you understand, this is the true African experience. This is the true global, international, universal experience of how things should be. Should be. Well, you see this family and the sisters and brethren that gather, never wait for Wazungo, some outside forces to tell them what they are able to do. Nah, sir. Never wait for the mayor and race relation or ethnic minority funding to determine what they can do or what they cannot do, or what is possible from what isn't possible. You understand? These are independent-minded people with an African-centered heart and mind, seen, and deal with the effort that is required. That's why you don't hear no great form of communication, no great form of noise going on, see? Because when they have something to say, it's all about the literature. It's all about what the shop is about. It's all about the institution, not even a shop. The institution is about. So them not talk too much. It's we, the foot soldiers, that speak up for them. That's how things used to run. Keep a dance, and the party of the people them decide, yeah, this is what we're going to do, this is what the date is, this is how much the fee is, isn't this and who's playing. Them allocate someone as foot soldier to promote. Not like we start promoting today, you know. So people just go out there with them tickets. Them time there was no flyers, it was ticket. And just give out the ticket them. You understand? So people know you from that ticket and them just come on to that yard because it was someone's house. You understand? And I saw things work. And I saw these young people do their thing. And we're happy. We're proud. We're spiritually happy. We're mentally happy. And we have faith in them and trust in them. Because if them feel away, they make you know. They not hide it and suffer in silence. So give thanks to the Almighty and the ancestors and the family of their family and their family's family and all the brothers and sisters who support them and pray for them and had prayer for them and are supporting them physically, mentally. Yeah, because sometimes talk is cheap. But our road leads to 76 Strogan Road, Finsbury Park, London N4 3EN. Telephone number 020-7272-4889. Yes, the New Beacon Bookshop. Now, we want to talk about something quick. Because we are dealing with time. We are going to deal with time. Time a lesson learned. Time is the master. Time can also be disaster. Time. Over the years, we have understood or supported and felt deep affiliation or affection for our brother, our elder father, Martin Luther King. And it's strange that myself personally, we never hear or see in all the campaigns, the ministers and the ministers make mention of Vernon Johns. Why is he important at this point? Is that we need some Vernon Johns. We, the people in the diaspora. We need some Vernon Johns. Now, Vernon Johns was an African activist that never looked for promotion, prestige. He organized himself and his family and the people in the vicinity to which he resided. And from whence he saw fruit in that, all the surrounding territories, he made sure that he paid them a visit and mentally focused on organizing them so they were able to do for self and support others as a people. Vernon Johns. He wanted us as black people, African people, children of the slave, to be independent in society. He wanted us to understand that we should not spend any form of effort and time with the white man in speaking about how he's inflicting his racism on us. So we should spend more time and effort and energy developing ourselves socially, economically, educationally, so we can become an independent people of our own attributes and our own contributions, which is very, very, very extremely important. That's why we're able, when we speak about certain things in this country, people talk about the Indian, the European, and the Chinese. Because we can see it. But we just don't see ourselves. And some of us use a shortcut. By seeing that, them say, see what them are do? They're not doing anything. They have structuralized themselves. It is we who ain't structured. So that's why we can see them. Because now we're charged for recognizing what we are doing. So instead of gazing and looking at ourselves and be honest and truthful and sincere, we become judgmental of others and taking a reflection somewhere that it doesn't belong. Because those people did not ask our permission to orchestrate and organize their institutions. They did not. Neither did they ask our permission to set up shops. They did not. Neither did they ask us, do we want yam and banana and ackee and saltfish? They did not. These are the commodities that we require. But since we haven't looked at ourselves deeply to say, here what, since we need these things, we have to find them. That's what we've done, just found them. So each one of them, and right now the Chinese is not a ringer in that area, provides. The Turkish and the Greek and the Italians provide all our amenities. It's not their fault. It really has nothing to do with them. It's us. So Vernon Johns, one day, he had to purchase some things for his house and his wife and his children. And he went into the town. And he found what he required. And he went and queued to pay at the counter. But he received hostility and abuse. But yet still, he put the purchasing dollars for the items to which he required. He attempted to give those purchasing dollars and cents to the owner of the shop. He wouldn't take it in his hand. So he was instructed to put it on the counter, to which he did. To which he did. Now, Vernon saw other people that was ahead of him, how they were treated. Exchange, collect the money, return the money, even shook hands. And a very cordial, respectful chat. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time was, good, courteous, cordial, respectful manner. But he didn't receive none of that. So that troubled him greatly. But these things were happening before, different. There were different faces. They still took their money. But this one amount to be like the icing on the cake. And when he went on his way home, he spoke to himself and asked, why should we tolerate these attitudes? Not to go and fight these people, you know. Not to go and fight them. Not to go and tell them how hideous they are. He said we shouldn't have to tolerate that. So what him do? And go home, reluctantly gave the produce to his wife. They couldn't need them. But on his journey to the other areas where we reside, he took seeds. He took seeds from others. And the next day, start sowing them seeds. Him say we're tired of the disrespect. We're tired of the abuse. Tired of it. We're humans. And we require good treatment. So since the willingness not to give us good treatment, then do for self. Now that's the lesson learned here. Do for self. So he developed what we call in the Caribbean, many places, kitchen gardens. And he didn't just do it on his patch. He encouraged others in the community, in the area, to do likewise. So they had a string of vegetables all that they require. All that they require. So they don't have to go to town, to these stores, these shops, and purchase from people who was blatantly disrespecting us. But there were some among us that think it wasn't a good idea. Shops are already there. What do you think Master's going to do when we're not spending with Master? These were the people. So what he did when harvesting time came, he set up a table and some barrels and some troughs out front of the church. Because they had some place that they met and read and pray and congregate. So there he was. And people, even those pessimists, purchased from him. But soon as they see a white person, whatever they had, they dropped. So these were some of the problems that he encountered and we encountered of our own people. This is Vernon John, the man who actually is responsible for the movement that Martin Luther King came and led. Vernon Johns. So, the white people in Mississippi and North Carolina and Alabama were not happy. Why weren't they happy? Because the black man was doing something, the black families were doing something for themselves. The black family was using the land that they had and making good use of it. The black family was roasting their own corn and making their own flour. The black family was feeding themselves and sharing among themselves. That caused another problem with the man. Because his position was that we must be subservient no matter what. And all of our amenities and everything must come through him. That's the same thing today in the 21st century, 2017, 2018. No matter how bright we have become, we're still dumb. Some of you don't like these straight in your face, straight talk. To hell with it. You be massaging your egos for so long that you become egotistic against yourself, and well, you don't know it. So if you get 2 slaps here and 2 kick here and 2 punch here and everything from ourselves, maybe we'll wake up and shape up and do all the right things that we need to do as a people. We're not talking about punch for knockout. We're not talking about kick for disrespect. We're talking about them things to make we just look at ourselves. We're not talking about honoring people. We're not taught that. The elder them that walk the street as rude boy know what me I say really. The argumentative, brutish persons decide that I'm too presumptuous and me I go on like say me I run things. Listen, if that be the case, you shouldn't be talking. If that be the case, speak for yourself. Do what you're doing. Don't lambaste me or try sidetrack it. It not work. It will not work. So Vernon Johns, him never beg the people him for their money. Him tell the people him supposed to organize their money properly and know who they're spending their money with. And do not spend their money with people who are racist and disrespectful to them. And they must understand that when the money stays among us, we will become very wealthy. Now that's Vernon Johns. I don't know why they haven't written or spoken a great deal about him, but speak about the Ashkenazis that changed their name and joined and led Martin Luther King intelligence. That's a kind word. But most of his strategies were not his. Most of these strategies were not designed for us. They were designed for another people. But using the individual to project. Vernon John wasn't that. The ministers of the churches decided to ostracize Vernon John. Said he was arrogant. He was creating problems in these 3 counties, these 3 states. We were doing better before he started the things he started. And he ain't said nothing yet. He didn't start his campaign. He did not linguistically start his campaign. All he was doing was creating an infrastructure very quietly, systematically, and making us look at ourselves and our inability. Because the children were being taught. Women were being supported. Elderlies were also supported. And the young men were farming. And they were prohibited from drinking the alcohols. Even the smoking of the tobaccos. Because he saw the entrapment of these vices. But like I said, he prohibited, but he didn't use power. He used explanation. He demonstrated from his life and got the elders to orchestrate such. Those who were not pessimists. And he didn't have no time for them because they just wasted time. The pessimists oftentimes needed him and needed others because they got themselves in so much troubles with the white man. I am talking about Vernon Johns because we need to look at this champion, Vernon Johns. We need to resurrect Vernon Johns. And then you see systematically how doing for self, loving yourself, ourselves, and developing families is so critically important. Because every creature has that innate responsibility. It is humans that's been given the power of thought that refuses to stay the course. And because we, the Africans, that have been enslaved and been mentally misused, we seem not to trust ourselves. We still trust the slave master and his family for our judgment, our development. That's what we do. That's our failure. That's where we have the biggest problem. And no matter how you want to cut it, twist it, turn it, it's the truth. It is the truth. Our theological education has abused us. And well we know it, but we don't seem to have the intellectual capacity and the philosophy to change it. That's why we speak so much about certain champions of ours, but apply nothing in kind. We will speak for the next how much years about the gratification of Marcus Garvey. We also will speak for a numerous amount more years than him about His Imperial Majesty. Now the application of both should have resurrected us a long time. But we didn't have a Vernon Johns. It's about vision. Not about how much you know. It's about vision. And the willingness to implement for yourself that vision. Not to request it of others, but not doing it yourself. And that's where many of our organizations and front runners are lacking and are guilty of. Because we all can say something, but are we living or doing that which we are saying and wanting and would like others to take heed of? We've been so bad teachers over the years. Now, I've been to school. I've had lecturers. Now, I couldn't have passed anything if those damn lecturers, especially the lecturers, were jackasses. Or I weren't paying attention. Or I didn't have the mental capacity or capability to ask correct and right questions of them to pursue the courses to which I were involved or embarking upon. And that goes for all of us. Not some, all of us. So what happened? What happened? It's just that white is right, and you depend on right to tell us if we should or shouldn't. Now, here's the problem. Still with Vernon Johns, here's the problem. If them ask us to sing, which they don't, but we start the singing, if they ask us to come among them through some contractual arrangement and sing, we will sing beyond singing and write. Listen. And right there and then, we're not even thinking of ourselves. So how can you then think about me or anyone who is saying, build the institutions that Marcus Garvey exemplified and projected to us that is required, the Black Star Liner, the African Postman, etc., etc. It's not happening. Because your mindset ain't working. Collective assurity isn't working. Because psychologically, we've been dumbed down to think that the master have to tell us what's the next direction. And plus, to working for the master, we don't have the courage to use the resources that we've created for the master, for ourselves, beyond ourselves, to help develop the things that we do know we require. So some serious psychology is being implanted on our psyche over years. So let's say we spent 7 years in academia. We're not talking about going to university, talking about primary school, secondary school. And no intervention of a Vernon Johns, a Martin Luther King, and Elijah Muhammad, His Imperial Majesty, Melik al-Shabazz, Kwame Ture, and we're not digesting, we're lost. But since I put that there, Were they not available to us? Why haven't we graduated? Why? No courage. No courage. And Christians are going to get vexed now. No courage because the symbolism is Jesus. Still the Caucasian. Waiting for them to sanctify whatever we are attempting to do. So since they're not the ones who are graduating us to do whatever it is that we need to do for ourselves, nothing comes from that angle. So we stay as we are, stand at ease. Now, if they write a new commandment saying, "O people, O followers of Jesus, develop yourself, bring forth, give birth and rise to your education and your economical strength, be you," then we will do that, unfortunately. But like I said, the name is wrong. The J's 300 and something years late, so I don't know where they get that from and why we are affiliated to that. And the code is definitely not working, so it's no connection because it's the wrong individual, wrong title, wrong name, everything. So we're still there. And when I started on this journey, on this program, I said that I've recognized that we're reaching somewhere, and what we must not do is allow other forces to distract where we are going. And our American brothers and sisters, those geezers that utilize YouTube and these things, came and dress massage many of us and our children and are consistently distracting them. I also find myself saying that I can recognize and seeing a first class black British that is going to go against the majority of us. It's on its way. And right now, it's going to be released very soon. With us as Muslims, or with us whose faith is Al-Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala charges us, warns us about play and amusement. And this is what this man have done to us. So when we reflect, as the nation does, on the minstrels, those times, even in this time, we generate billions through play and amusement, not for ourselves as a people. We get trinklicks for ourselves. We get it. It does be awarded to us. But if we do not play the game correct, they would ostracize us, throw us in jail. Listen, they victimize us and we'll be finished. They even take our lives because they can. So if you sit back and look at black economics from play and amusement, the amount of money we run this world financially, but we don't, because we don't have no dignity in self. We're not being taught about self. And we have to do that teaching. And we don't love ourselves. Neither do we trust ourselves. We hustle through life. So we're full-time survivors. And we still haven't got it. Unless we die, we won't have to be trying to survive. So since we're not rolling up and dying rapidly, we survive like other creatures, other beasts out there in this world. So this is why I'm yawning, and some people just think that I'm being dishonorable and disingenuous, going after the pastors to become shepherds, feeling the need to help guide and corral his people and take responsibility for aiding and supporting his people, pastors, becoming shepherds. Now let me show you some symbolism that just dropped on us Saturday. Now you all saw it, and who didn't see it, hear it, and who didn't even need to hear it can replay it. It's everywhere. Proper. There was an African minister that ministered the congregation. Forget wedding, the congregation. But did he minister the congregation? He ministered the world. Him take the verses from the scripture, as we are very good at, and make it relevant to that situation that befalls him and us and those couples and all those people, especially the royal dignitaries. That's what he did. Now forget this thing about, it was so long. Listen, try and remember what he was talking about. Try and remember the word love. And how him slip it in there to society and slip it in there to religious and slip it in there to spirituality. He did the whole works. That's us. Nobody now want to come tell me, say, yes, that African. Listen, that's us. That's all through the Caribbean. That's everywhere they say we are preachers or ministers of religion, of the Bible. That's us. We take the thing and turn it inside out and twist it around and just make it right for us. We don't care a damn about who's saying, no, it never say that, like that. That's what we do. That's what we do. They never scream out, say the Holy Ghost has got him and all that. No, it was right on point. It's on the ground. Now, the world got that. The world got that. So, and we know about these things. Should we not then be investing on the best of ourselves and calling the best of ourselves, wanting the best of ourselves to rise us up take care of us, lead us aright, help us when we're falling off, be there for us. That shows you it is so possible. Now we have thousands of such peoples. Just imagine that they were speaking to us, taking care of us, refining us. We change anything we require to change. And we won't be trying to get weapons of mass destruction at all. It will be the word. It be righteousness. But first things first, ourselves before others. Now that's why we've been suppressed. We've been given that maze and set of boundaries. Not allowed to step out because our minds are too much involved in the maze. Now, Jesus can't set no one free because he's the wrong person. He doesn't exist. The person you wonder exists, the closest to his name is Christ. Now, the character that we want does exist. But how we try to interact and take from that character, that person, that individual, it's being wrong. Now, I've been saying this before I was a Muslim, so don't get anything confused and twisted and everything. No. And many of us can read. We don't need somebody to borrow to read for us. You can read. And once you open that book, you know, say that something wrong. So why does people try to twist it? Because we're capable of doing just that. That's the point of raising up that brother on Saturday that ministered to those couples and the Queen. Yes, and the world, because you know how much millions of people did listen and view that. Millions. It's only some old nigger jackass turn around and say him take too long. He was there for too long. That means say them never go to church, or they went to church and them used to just leave. So when the minister is dealing with building our character, become trustworthy, be truthful, be honest, be courteous, developing that part of our structure and our dutifulness, our interaction, you're gone. Or maybe the sister never pay you any mind. She not listen to you. She has steady till the service done. So I'm never saying that pastor them don't work. But the pastor is always, he's been hoodwinked, he's been told what to do. We want some shepherd that take care of our communities, the areas to which we reside, which we should be proud then to call communities. Because we run the place. We will orchestrate the place. Our behavior will be beyond. The unification of us and our trust within us will be unimaginable. That's why some people talk about the good old days. How the hell it can be good old days? It's supposed to be here continually. We're not going nowhere. We transition, others are here. So anything that happens to us, where do we go? We run to the same who did it to us. Now, Vernon John, I'm telling you, Vernon John, an eloquent, and he spoke many languages. He have a family. There's some years ago, in the 80s and past. Yes. But we should all research Vernon Johns. Now, Martin Luther King, the ministers gathered, decided that Vernon wasn't what they need, and will him to step down from ministering in what they call their organized church, and they were the head of these churches. So he continued as an individual. It broke him, but he continued. And they made it difficult for him. So he kept moving on. He left us a broken man. Not broke, but broke. A broken man looking at us and being mistreated by his own. Because he was harsh. Why? How? Question. He had a vision of us being independent. So that's why when Elijah Muhammad come, him say, we need our own things. You understand? We need to separate. That's where him got that from. Big time. Not Fard Muhammad. Big time. Vernon Johns. But he applied it. He wasn't just talking. He applied it. Do for self. And Elijah Muhammad did that in the early too. Do for self, farms, everything. Because you feed yourself, you clothe yourself. You have a form of independence. That's what these others here in London, England have. And all we do is, they do that. Listen, why aren't you making noise with your ambassadors? Why aren't you making noise with your embassies? See? Why aren't you doing that? And when alleged so-called independence come, who's the first jackasses to be there jumping and carrying on? We. For what? When Carnival come, before Carnival come, we're ready. For what? There's no monument for Khalsa. There's no remembrance of the fact that that thing came about because of one of our intellects. One of our own was killed by the hands of racists. Just like Stephen Lawrence. He was ahead of Stephen. He was a university grad. Listen. And we play. We don't even commemorate the time. We don't even take heed of our prayer and remembrance and reflection of that young man's life. We just go there and gyrate like jackasses and know that people them hijack the goddamn thing because it's the biggest gathering in the world or in Europe, and it's making so much money that no black African organization on island has any input from. So who's the fool? Playing amusement again. Some of you out there going, watch him, because you're Muslim, you don't want people to have fun. We've been having too much fun. We were running from the man. We even run so much that him cut off we foot. I broke them so he can't run no more. Or he hanged that one to make the others understand that if you try this thing of running, this is what's going to happen to you. Now all of his dogs, his hungs, They knew our smell, so they were trained to trap us. So him never even just run off till we same time. Him just said, "Cha, we'll get them. We'll get that N. We get them." Sometimes he's so fed up, him just take him gun and shoot we. But other times him say, "Cha, it's a good training for them, tracking, and see how the hounds work." And then we take those N and make them understand there's no hope for you. Do what we want and you will live longer. Not better, longer. These are the things that happen. We out-sing the birds. We have nothing to show for it. Own an individual. Look at Michael Jackson. Didn't he not make so much? Did he not buy the Beatles catalog? Didn't he? I mean, work it out. Prince. There's many others, but just these couple just left us the other day. However they left us, or left this earth. Whatever they're affiliated to, that's not the issue. It's the fact that they're African origin, in the diaspora, in the United States, made millions, billions. But their philosophy, their psychology, what was it? What institutional training did they have? What affiliation to Africa and to us did they have? See? This is where we need to start. We need to start with ourselves and raise ourselves. By the token of time, through the ages, verily man is lost, except those who have what? Faith, and join together with each other and do righteous things. And have patience and constancy. I'm coming right back to that because I can't, yeah. And this is Ramadan. Children.
The time is near. Stop thinking to see. Revelation revealing.
Leonard Chin, Santic, Augustus Pablo, Arisandi, and vocal. Children of Israel.
The tribe of Judah was the only man who could open the book of seals. Remember good.
know, say, from music to play them on there, ever ready.
Let go big tune. Big tune. Big tune.
Listen, my people, to my song, as it goes along. Children of Israel, the time is near. Stop thinking to see. Revelation revealing all the fighting and the killing. Nothing can stop it. So children of Israel, stop and think. I want you to read again Revelation 5, yeah, and remember what it said, and remember good that the Lion of the tribe of Judah was the only man who could open the book of seal. Remember good, children of Israel, stop and think, yeah. Revelation is revealing, so stop and think. Listen to my song, listen good. All the killing and the fighting, nothing can stop it. So children of Israel, stop
I know,
and
say,
think.
from music to play them on there, ever ready.
I
Let
want
go
you
big
to
tune.
read again Revelation 5, yeah, and remember what it said, and remember good that the Lion of the tribe of Judah was the only man who could open the book of seal. It's there for you to see. Children of Israel, stop and think for me. Remember God here and His good doings. La da 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 da. Remember for me, children of Israel. Remember, yeah. Don't go astray, yeah. Don't go for me. Children of Israel, I beg you, don't go astray, yeah. Don't go for me.
Why in this time, the 21st century, African people are still striving for justice against racism, crime, and death? Why? Because the people them never see us as full human beings. And now here in England, in the home counties, they're having their test case with the badgers and the fox, giving those officers guns. In London, they want to intensify the stop and search holistically. And now they want to say that they feel they've been infringed upon within their duties if they carry out their work. They feel that there's always an inquiry. They have to justify their actions. So they don't feel good doing their work. Some words to that effect. And them using scooter, motorbikes and what have you, saying if they have to try to apprehend these people or chase these people, right, then they finish up being criminalized because the possibility of some form of fatality. Now, how the hell can that be discussed and we now get no justice for all the death in police custody and in police affray? See it there? And David Lamia talk about the BBC is not employing black people. Stop that, Ross, man. Deal with the thing. Deal with what's happening in Tottenham. Deal with the thing that's happening in Hackney. Deal with the thing that's happening in London. Altogether, crime. And the artificial view, the symbolic messages that they may use to justify getting all these millions at the expense of our children. But you jump everywhere, you're hula hooping, man. Everywhere. So who the hell is pulling your string, puppet? This is the problem. This is the problem. And then some of y'all talk about Ms. Bernie Grant. Listen, Bernie Grant, what? Where am they? He's gone. This brother here, this young man, is well educated. The Labour Party under Tony Blair did him an injustice. He's not recovered. Then his partner, not recovered. Then the young lady in the Grenfell, not recovered. He's under it. Now, you either step aside or do the things that you know you can do correctly. Because there's so much young talent here with us that you cannot just inspire, but train and direct. All right, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. You're playing goddamn hula hoops. You're jumping everywhere. You're losing us. And the gentrification that's been happening in Haringey, why aren't you been on top of that? Why? Shouldn't the people out of Broadwater Farm be moved out? Shouldn't that place be pulled down? Shouldn't houses be built? Those people are entrapped. It's Animal Farm. Well, you knew that before you took up posts. You knew that. You knew the greater minds of us did not like that creation at all. And the experiment went so far, then that the hostilities. Now, you know the revenge of the British man is always there. So we have to wait and see when they're going to come again. Because it was PC Blakelock. That now go away. So shouldn't you and others be campaigning to remove that damn farm and get the people them some just homes to live in? So much people in there are trapped, suffering from claustrophobic. So many. And some of them who was in the frail that was orchestrated by the law again are homeless. What did you do about that? What, you call them criminals too? That's what conservatives call them. That's what Cameron called them. Said anyone who is involved and found involved, they'll evict them, which they did. So we haven't recovered from that yet, because many of those people haven't had any place to live in how long? Because the government said they gave up their rights to social accommodation because they were involved in the affray concerning the Mark Duggan death. So you see all these things has come off the agenda with so-called politicians. So how we get social justice? How we get legal justice? We're viewed as criminals. And then we're liked because our sons and daughters will run for London and then run for England and then represent England in the Commonwealth. And it just continues and continue and continue, playing games and amusement again. And by this time you say something like that, somebody's going to go, get off that, man. Because we're so caught up in it. You know, you got me, you get me. Everything is working the other way around. So by the time the middle class, black British, is released upon us, wow. And with the mix, we're going to be, we who is African, Caribbean, African, we're going to be in some rash trouble with them, with the system and with our own. You better watch that space. That same situation has occurred, does occur in Philadelphia and in Atlanta, right here, now and today. Yes, spotlight shine bright on how the gentrification worked, how the same-sex work, how the new league of what them call Black Lives Matter work, how the misuse of us has worked and is working. I'm telling you, more woman than man, serious problem. Serious problem. What we gonna do? So come September, I'm worried. But I already made up my mind what I'm gonna do. You understand? That's it. Because our children is going to be the target for the introduction of holistic stop and search, intensified stop and search. Now, they justify their business by saying, guess what? You know these boys on the bikes, when we chase them, you know what they do? They take their helmets off and throw it. Listen, if them take them gravity helmet off, that means you can identify them now. What they never said nothing about them covering them face with no mask and whatever. What they're saying is, when they take their helmet off, what they're saying to us is, you dare hit me. You dare nudge me off this bike. Huh? Now, that's for the courts to sort out. But what they're saying is, you blacks, you dare put together your legal apparatus coming after us. It ain't going to work. We're going to get proper opinion. We're going to get the nation of our side. So now, all of a sudden, you've got these very, very shrewd media platforms and officers or whoever they are campaigning for them. Now, King Livingston jumped ship. Supposed to be racial abuse that other people crying for. We not cry. But our blood is being shed. So we are not consistent in our crying. We're not using our media platform and repeating the injustices that is happening or have happened and is happening to us. We just keep moving. Even though the man stepped down, them say, nah, them not finished with that. He must be gagged. Should not be able to speak. Should not be around any form, any involvement with Labour. Come on. What do we do? A mother loses her child. Some flimsy pathologist reports. Police is not even suspended. Officers not even suspended. The plainclothes officer, no one is asking anything about it because he's undercover, and then they try to make out that it was a citizen doing the duties and helping. But no, it wasn't. But the young man the young men, are dead. How much shooting has been in the gang world? How much shooting is of their own? So now what they do in America on the popular TV, Foxes especially, they said, hey, stop shouting foul. You kill each other. Do you know that? You kill each other. You're always having gunfights. So now in England, they're already ready to tell you, guess what? This year alone, last year, and this year, you're hotter than LA. You nearly reach Chicago. Because you're killing yourselves. Are we really? Are we the only ones that is having some form of friction? It's only our children is having friction out there. Lie. It's not. It's not. So the media want to do things. But we depend on who? What's the newspaper? That's what we depend on. Is it ours? Mm-mm. It frontline all the Commonwealth. And it took a number of our geniuses that were at university and pass. They're highlighting the divide of a middle-class black, a middle-class African Caribbean, or middle-class Africans in this country right now. Them call themselves the voice. They don't ask questions. What was the Commonwealth doing, ministers doing here in London? Why weren't a question asked about the deaths of our young people? See? Duppy know who for frightened, how people them do what them a do. So you have to watch that space and see what is happening. Now we have a thing in this country, we have a thing that America does all across the world and Britain. Covert operations. We had that here too. And then when you speak, them say you're dealing with speculation, you're dealing with conspiracies, because them know how to run their operations and they know how to use symbolic messages and they know how them have the news operations to filter in society at large what people are thinking. Just get a general picture of what people are thinking. Are they wise? Are they homing in on their frequencies? Not about identifying any undercover covert operations, but are we up to speed? Do we realize, do we recognize, right? And when they think that we are recognizing, then they infiltrate whatever it is that we're doing. They will spend millions setting up record shops, even creating dances. Should be the top dance, the hot dance, just to get an audience so they can pick off what it is that they're looking for and plant whoever they need to plant. All these things is happening throughout the Caribbean with crime. These are operations. These are operations. Where they call our African brothers and sisters corrupt in terms of government, you never hear that in the Caribbean. The Caribbean has been pillaged with a lot of crime because the youngsters, the young people, the young men and women, they're not dumb when it comes to information technology. And drugs has never been the part. It's just been ganja. So who likes these drugs? Who feels impregnable and untouchable with these drugs? Not us. So now these operations have taken place and are taking place. We're mad into this thing. And the seduction of this thing, we're turning on ourselves. Who's commanding them? So if our young people on the road in England, them call it gang, who is operating these things across the Caribbean islands? Who are the backatives? Two rotted boy can't even find a 2 pound of herb. But him have a whole heap of gun and him know who's snorting what. Something wrong with that, man. Something seriously wrong with that. You get me, geezer? That can't just manifest itself just like that. Because we deal with some sardine pans. And we deal with a couple rolling pin tarati that are roll the seed out of some good cali weed. And now them say it legal. And we now run the world market. So you work that out. Work it out. Which gang they go bring in England this summer and let off on we? And soon you go hear an influx in England and more war zones taking place. We not got our eyes on the thing. All we have is some slick dressing prime ministers. Keep some little islands, them as plantations. And keep the people them as servitudes. Don't matter how much uptown any one of them goddamn living. Nothing not going. It's just a guy get good and smarter than the next guy next door. Yeah. And not bad talk no more. It's who him know. And anyone who go independent, them throw them in jail because they can. Get rid of them. And even allow them to make music if they were in music before. Whether there was a producer or a singer, some form of art, them give them that luxury still. Why? Work that out. Why? And the Queen and the Governor General now say nothing about these things. Say, who's controlling what? Mafia control the thing. Control the islands. Covert operations. And them thing them take out King with, and them thing them take out Martin Luther King with. Martin Luther King and Al-Haji, Melika Shabazz. Malcolm X. Yeah. Them set up our little cafes up and down certain communities or areas where we reside. And our children visit these places, lunchtime and evening, and listen to all of these different genres of music or sounds that's out there, and drink all of these fancy stuff that's not healthy food or healthy drinks, and sexualize them. All these are operations. You have some big grown-ass man like me seducing our children into these places. And there's some people that don't look like us that are run these places. These are government places. We're not organized. All we do is talk. There was such an operation that them spent out 5 million for 6 months. But it was successful. Them got a whole heap of, hey, them catch enough people. But as far as they're concerned, that was a good thing. Now, entrapment is another thing them use. And some of our children that ain't involved in nothing, them just being seduced towards money. Where are we going? What are we trying to do as a people? It's about time we had this summit. Huh? But if it's to be on political objectives, because I'm the nation and this one is that, and no, all those things, them too leany. The same way that we came together 27 maybe more years ago for the New Cross disaster. Another same thing we're supposed to do right here now. All hands on deck. Because we want to stop the disparity. We want to stop the death, the killing of our children. We want to organize ourselves properly. We have to reflect on everything that's passed us by and see where we are right now and make some serious changes. It's for us to do that. Not the mayor. Not going into City Hall because we want to be important. And we want to help someone that is not about helping us. Because if I tell you the Muslim community in general has disregarded him because of the position and the stance that he's taken in the first place. And that isn't going to change anytime soon. So he's actually brought about help to bring about a moderate, liberal-minded set of Muslims in this country, which is from the Asian peninsula, which is from Asia anyway. And he joined party with the Sikhs and the Hindus in doing the same thing. So he's already gone. But for us, we're nothing in that circle. The people I just mentioned are multi-millionaires in this country. You talk about the guy who owned Chelsea, nah, star. Some Sikhs and Hindus are richer than that boy there in this country. There's quite a few down there, Southall. There's quite a few here in Hertfordshire. I don't know what going. Anyway, that's your mayor. So yeah, run down the Young Londoners Fund, which have a ring fence of 45 million and still open for investment, street investment to come, which is backed by the Metropolitan Police, 110 million. You support them to kill with children. You know, not support them forget the inquiries as to the injustices that's already happened. No, you run with another thing and you use all the song bites. Instead of community cohesion, you're saying we need to educate them. We need to go into the hostels. We need to go into the detention center. We need to work with young offenders team. Oh my God! And you're collecting money. Where were you before? Why did you let families fall through the crack? Why didn't you call a summit among black social workers? Looking at fostering adoption, but looking at what? Why are children is in homes? Why have children been taken from their homes and put in homes and not been taken care of and guided and educated? How come? Not that we don't have social workers in there. We have enough. Top level. The little Jim Screechy boy and girls, no. But you not deal with that. You sit down and you waited and you saw and you heard him and you saw the invitation and you run gone, City Hall. Then some of you go there with your pastor, them I talk about how them can work with the Muslims and hey, you better be careful. Seriously. But then again, you talk about the mayor's Muslims. That's what you're talking about. You talk about them. And we're not afraid for say that, you know. You talk about them. You're not talk about the upful, upright, clean, sincere Muslimin. You talk about them moderate, liberal-minded sellouts. There's no way me can marry my brother. There's no way. You understand? There's no way my daughter can have a relationship with her sister. No way. So what we're not going with? Black tackling nonsense. And when I go and get money, run down things, and then come back on popular station and talk rubbish. And plagiarize things. What for? You're ill, man. The young people are soon catch one up, you know. Young people gonna ask, you know. Since you got that money, what you doing with it? You got to open up studios. You got to open up studios. You got to take some ex-prisoners, go come into them. What am I going to try to do? Show them, say, this is the mistake I made, so you should not make that same mistake? Yeah, joke. My child, never in that circle. We have to play some music for you. Friday, the entrapment of and the influences of sound. The influences of sound, the corruption of involving yourself so deep in certain things. I say to Bright Lights, make me a green machine so that I can break my fast at 8:45. It was actually 8:50, right? At the same time, I tell him that, I say to him to do that, regularly I just bring my bottle, a drink, my juice, and some water. I mentally said, I'm fasting, Bright Lights. Here what happened? Fix me a green machine so I can break my fast at this hour. But I still pick up the rotted water and drink the water. And break my fast. Stuff all in. So those who know and recognize that, don't sit back and think, say, he's a geezer, I call him out. Cool, which are? Me slip up like a human being. And now I'm a human being that I tell on again that that's what happened. Entrapment, mental entrapment, and seduction and influence and the thing. Because here what happened? If it wasn't for the tunes then me a play, why is me a fast? And Bright Lights come and pop two skank. And my chain of thought lost the sense of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is already warned us about. Amusement in play can divert you into all forms of things. So avoid it. It's just like it's haram for gambling, splitting of arrows and these things. But when them at the lottery, when them start the lottery, the first rated winner was a Muslim. 16 million. The first was a Muslim. Whether it was set that way or not, why did he buy a ticket? See? So we're not afraid for see them thing there. So it not happen again. God willing. Listen tunes. Hey, these real, you know. You understand? Real. You can't purchase these. Get through them quick. Yeah, man. Listen to them. We'll bring them back for you on Friday. Too expensive. Selectors we have, man. Selectors.
Here we go! Dreams that for those who sleep. Life is for us to keep. And if you wonder what this all is leading to,
gotta make it with you, got to. Oh, you mean, you remember them tune now? Ah, them song there, you remember? Not for amateurs.
No, you don't know me well.
What? For mature listeners, man.
I never gave you my love. Deep
Mature listeners,
inside.
man.
I know I kept on stalling, afraid you'd do damage to my pride. My love was only a young love, but grown up am I to give real love, baby.
Record.
I'm ready now for the love that a woman should give to a man. Darling, you've been patient to wait. Oh, so long. But you can bet I'll make up for love I childishly thought wrong. And now I feel like a woman. Lover, I want what you needed, baby. I'm ready now for the love that a woman should give to a man.
Family, husband and wife.
And what's that? From music to play the man.
Beg up your children.
Tunes them our son used to play star. Hey,
I'd like to tell you, yeah,
Maestro,
just what I've been going through.
we band with them.
My nights are so long as I watch each
Set a soul head,
hour
Derek
go by. Hoping and praying that someday I will be your guide.
You see, we can do
And what's
anything
that?
now.
From music to play the man there already.
Tell them
Beg up
again.
your children.
Sure. Listen to him. Hey, Laurel, listen to him.
What's that? From music to play.
Why don't you stop and look me over? Am I the same girl you used to know? Why don't you stop and think it over? Am I the same girl whom you hurt so? I'm the one you want. I'm the one you need. I'm the one you love. The one you used to meet down the corner every day.
You see how we do the things with our ladies, man? We are showing them, say we love them, you know. We're not just, I want to use them, we just love them.
And what's that? From music to play the man there already.
Let's go big.
Listen.
And what's that? From music to play the man there already.
Let's go big.
Listen to him.
Don't cry.
Going once, going twice. We are say.
Just remember, God is standing by. Thank you, Lord. When you have heartaches, don't cry. No, 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 no. Don't worry, don't be discouraged. Ooh, don't cry, yeah. And sometime I have to say, oh, I'll be standing by. That's what he told me.
You see, when you play a tune like that now, you see how your family, you know, the mothers, fathers, uncles, the adults, them just feel happy. And that minister bring to the wedding Saturday, lighten up the place, give guidance and a surety on how to conduct love and the expression of it from Christ. Do you understand? Yes. And I'm dealt with the heart, mind, and the soul of the people. But when you look at the symbolism, when the camera shows certain people, you see, say them people, they come like some dopey, they run them. Them couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand it. They didn't know what to do with themselves. You understand? They didn't know what to do with themselves. Him hit, but I not him, at the word. You understand? The words and his projection of the word and the words that hold you. It's like these songs here. So Friday we get them, you know what I mean? On Friday we get them. Cause another sound that run we, you know, we run the sound. And we're not disc jockeys. We have master ceremonies. We have DJ and singers, but we have selectors. This jacket, no, star. Yeah, we are go somewhere now. We are take you on a mission. Yes, maestro, we are take them on a mission. We are going to take you straight into a place where the gang wasn't the gang, but listen to the gang.
And what's that? From music, the F already.
Hey,
Let go big chore.
tell them again. Hear the record? Sure. Going once, 150, 150 going once, 200, 250, 250, 300, 350. What? We're not hungry. We're not hungry. Stop it. 500, 550, 550. Moving, 6, 650. Can I hear 7? Can I hear 7? No, man, that not work. Yes. Original label and everything. Sure. Hear it. We are Skylark with you, you know. Watch out now. Whalers, you know. Listen this.
It's too hot down here. Fire, 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 fire. They have no one.
Let go big chore.
Babylon burning. Babylon
And what's that? From music,
burning.
play them on the F.
Babylon
Let go big chore.
You see what me mean? You see? Say, you have to be a righteous soul, you have to be a Naya Bingy soul. You know, coming out one away and all these talking. You understand? You must have a box that represent orthodox. You have a box that represent floor teller. You have a box that represent fun. What we call that one there? We call that one there. Where we have play some drum and bass and everything. You understand? Liven up the. Oh yes, that's for the bartender. You understand? Yes. We are going to get some good juice, good food. You understand? Before it was Cow Foot Telly by Gadman. Yes. You understand? In this case, it was Jabones. You understand? So you have to know. You come out yesterday and you run up your face with 2 dumplings. No, people. Did I say that? Dumpling? Yeah. Cyril and Dumpling, and I work together. Lovely maestro, just teasing them, you know what I mean? Friday we just get to them.
Eat no crumbs from your table, no. Nah, sing any kind of songs you want me to sing. I go say yes when yes means no. And if I fail in your society, there's a place somewhere for me.
I want to finish with that tune there. Listen, one of the things that we want to tell you now, time is so critically important. And we must, as African people in this country, we must put some value on time. We must reflect on time. We must make use of time. we must not forsake time, because once time is gone, there's no bringing that time back. So whether you are upset with somebody in at the time, it be righteous, loving, to settle the differences as soon as possible within time. Time is the ultimate. Love is the affection. But put love and time together and trust. The shepherd would be exemplifying those three qualities which that minister did on Saturday. Some of us don't like it. And some of us, our hearts and soul has been waiting for it for so long. But I'm telling you, people, if we don't manage time, we can't exemplify love. If we don't have trust, love means nothing. We're not talking about infatuated love. We're not talking about sexual relationship. We're talking about sincerity. We're talking about trust. That love and trust is part of time, a lesson learned. If we but think, operate for ourselves, develop our own institutions in our homes, making use of the time, having trust within oneself so you can put trust out to others, be honest and sincere. Love would be the ultimate key. Because see, when you say you love somebody, it's like trust is already being figured. Because you trust them so much that the next thing is you're in love with them. You're in love with their action. We're in love with their beauty. We're in love with their sincerity. In love with their courtesy. We're just in love with their moments. That is what we will, as human beings, we will protect that. Male and female, we'll protect that. What is it that we're protecting? We've been influenced by so much, we ain't protecting nothing. That's the key. Once you have these two, balance. Balance is that which is working. Because it's me and the lady. It's the male and the female. Balance. The partnership. Now you have that, we have that. In our areas, we have a community. We have a community. Working, building together. Sharing together. Not bad mouthing, bad talking, or anything. Because Allah says, oh Muhammad, ask them, would you like to eat the flesh of your dead brother, relative? He said, you would abhor it. Surely not. This is what Allah is saying that we would say. So why then dost thou backbite? Why dost thou then do a wrong? putting yourself in a position where people cannot trust you. Why would you then try to be smart against your own when you should be upright, sincere, loving? Love is trust. Trust is love. And they both need time to flourish, like a plant giving the sign of fertility, bringing about its blossoms. And we love the fruit when harvests come. Isn't that the same with human beings? All of us? Not one gets more than another, but we have the freedom to reject love and use it as a fling for sex. We have the freedom to misuse time and lose. We have the freedom not to trust but make oneself untrustworthy, but yet still wanting others to trust you. This is men. This is human beings. Deviant we are. So how are we going to rise above this deviancy? Pastor, because them not going to take it from Al-Islam, because the people pollute their minds saying there was Arabs, not remembering that their fathers, their forefathers, ancestors are such. We'll bring that to you on Friday. A great lecture that I've missed to bring to the table. One of my brothers bring to the table time. The importance and the value of time and trustworthiness. I had so many brethren that I was deeply in love with. I trust them like no one's business. From the day someone stole the things from us, I can't find in my heart to trust anybody outside of my family. Those scar tissues we all haven't got, but we have something close to. Now we can redeem ourselves because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, forgive. Why is it that we're so forgiving to those who are not part of us, who do us so much evil things, and we can't forgive ourselves? We can't forgive our own. Nobody never said nothing about forget. Seek forgiveness between your brothers and your sisters. Nobody never said to forget, because you can't erase the thing. And we're not talking about being apologists either. Listen, these two, hey, Magana now.
Want it in England to me say all abroad.
Roddy.
I fish a little data.
Aye, this one hotter than lava.
Where you say skip?
See how principle do it? Listen. So we still have all of them. So here what on Friday we are going to go Africa. We are going deep into Africa and give you our Islamic heritage from Africa. And give you our Islamic heritage from Africa coming out of the United States, going into the continent and coming back home, making it clear what they've accomplished in Africa. Them I get one of my brethren them who come from the same institution, Islamic institution as me, called Triple IT, giving a synopsis of Timbuktu. Timbuktu. So when you hear me say, when I go Cambridge and Oxford, I was jesting, but it was a fact. They're ours. They're ours in the sense that our institution of Shangal in Mali and Timbuktu, they model off of us. Britain and Bill, Oxford and Cambridge. When you visit them, even though you may not have visited Timbuktu and Shingal, you will see even a man-made stream to give the students and the lecturers the solace of relaxation. But through the water not flow like ours, them go there and get in their little canoe and usually find relationships are made and blossom because them just oar the boat up and down. That's why it's important for them to have the skulls and thing race. Yeah? Yeah. All based on African philosophies and African spiritualness in learning. You understand? So that's what that was about. And I used the sound system to say, yeah, we'll go Oxford and we'll go Cambridge. You have to understand symbolism. You have to understand expression. If you don't have them type of understanding, stop plagiarizing World Jam Global on the .com and just say, hear what happened. We hear that sentiment on World Jam Global. Because if me hear it on Genesis, me I got say that. Because I respect them youth there. Them man they're not even youth. If me hear it on Conscious, Little Andy, me I got give them that prompts. You understand? Me take it article when I want them plagiarizing and don't say nothing and then come talk something. Hey, me build some, me never play somebody song, you know. You understand? I've played other people's song, but the song I was involved in, me and my brethren, we built that. When I buy it from some guy around the corner, we built that. We put everything we had in that. Everything. The only thing when I build is the wire and the plugs. You understand? We build everything. And up to today, we can play digital. Watch and see when principals sit down and the man them coming. You see? Yeah. So, Mr. Best, me boss say about them something there. Hey, maestro, cha. So, are them something there we are going to bring on Friday and for the rest of Ramadan. Ramadan right now, we start with fast. What today is? 22nd. Why the time I go? Hey, the month done. Right? We start with fast at 3. Sukkot ended at 11 minutes past 3 this morning. You understand? We're going to break with fast at 9:15. Come follow it. Why is you chatting and talk about Arab this and Arab that? Stop all of that. Don't bother with that. Come follow me, Mr. Best and them brethrens and sisterins them. The followers of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the readers of Al-Quran in Fusa Arabic. Fusa Arabic. You understand? Come follow that. Try 1 week. Or try the rest of the time. 29 days or 30. This year we start Thursday, so we day upon a 30-day fast. So you're talking about a month. If Christ you follow, and remember Rastafari, His Imperial Majesty fasted. Don't make no one come tell you see that boy there chat some nonsense, you know. And a nonsense we are chat. His Imperial Majesty fast. And he fasted. He observed. And make people come trick you and confuse you. You understand? And fast. What it does, it clean you up. It clean you up. Make you look at yourself. Make you develop the institution that we haven't developed in our house, among our children and our partner, our wife, our platonic relationship, our partner and the partner to be is a platonic one, right? It helps us to do all of that. It also helps us to understand how to use our finance and to look back and see that we've been misusing it. Look back and see that we haven't even been giving our mothers anything. Huh? Look back and see that our pocket was full. But we've been spending it wrong because now our pocket is full because we're not doing the things that we were doing before. Because we not eat in the daylight. We not run boat, so we not just abuse money. And then we can see that we're more privileged than lots of other people, hundreds, thousands, millions of other people in this country and across the world, especially the continent of Africa. So we become more mentally charitable. And we seek for charities or seek for areas or people to give money to that help our people get themselves up and eat our food, pay hospital fees and things of this nature. It's very essential. It's not a boast, it's essential. So the followers of Christ, notice me not say Jesus, the followers of Christ, fast man, fast sister. If you're on your cycle, you shouldn't be fasting. If you're on a journey, you have to make up the amount of time or the day of that journey that you've lost after the fast, before the next fast come. So some of us do carry excess account with us. You understand? But men, they have no excuse, only traveling. And traveling in excess of 50 miles. When I start traveling from here to Finsbury Park or somewhere up the road. No. In excess of 50 miles. You understand? And simple thing of eyeing up some woman and talking foolishness and gossips and all of that. Break your fast. So that's why I have to remind yourself to remind you that I make a big mistake when I do everything that I normally do, but I tell the brother for fix me a green machine so I can break my fast with it. But I still pick up the water and drink. You understand? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is most gracious, most merciful. I understand. But what I'm not understand is, what was I doing that caused that action? You see? I was doing something wrong in the time of the time. You see? So we are going to spend more time having conversation about life and less music and everything until Ramadan, because I cannot lose. We should not lose our spiritual upliftment. We should not lose our duties to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We should not lose our responsibility to ourselves and our families. We should not lose that. Once you lose that, corrosion comes in. Once that corrosion comes in there, Shaitan has a big part. And that person who was so sincere and everything becomes slick. Or ain't come slick. He start talking a whole heap of bullshit and try to convince people, like the Bible tells us, we're convinced the very elect. Why? Am I using mind? Am I using mouth? Am I use sound to entrap people? Not sound as in record, sound from his mind or her mind to how them express themselves and telling lies. Trickifying. You understand? And we are good at that. Not we black people, human beings, we are good at that. You understand? So, my son was fasting now. Him young, he don't qualify, but him is fasting every other day. And yesterday him fast and today him fast again. Me bring him some food to collect him from school and him said to me, I'm actually fasting. I said, wow, are you sure you're managing this? And he said, yes. You understand? So we have to keep our eye on him, but tomorrow, me not let him fast tomorrow. You understand? Because the heat is on, the summer is here, the weather's changed up quite nicely, but it's hot, and him have them hours, you understand? It's not about trying to be big, You know, it's something have to be manageable. So we say, Salam alaikum, come Friday, enough nice things they about. On Friday we gone, right? We not have bright lights for tell him do nothing. Me there by myself. I'm gonna run to the mosque right now. No, I'm gonna wash. I'm gonna go to the mosque. Right? So we'll leave you with this tune and we love this. You know what I mean? Yeah. Number one tune again. Salam alaikum, guidance. Don't forget, tell your friend them, come Friday, we're still hotting it up. You know what I mean? And we are going to read some of the Quran them too. Serious thing. And don't forget our father, Vernon Johns. You know what I mean? VERNONJOHNS. Vernon Johns. Yes, man. Somebody need to be looked upon carefully and understood. We need to discuss him more and more. And implement some of his theories, his application. Sisters. Some man go check the woman them this kind want sex.
Deep in my heart, I live very humble.
Him not carry nothing give her.
10,000 bad men around you and you live
kick him.
I don't have no army and I don't care, no. But if I in your society.
And my sister them come from America, you know? Yeah, Roland Alfonso, man. Gee, oh gosh, man.
God forbid, because you don't like me, no.
Whole family.
A place somewhere for me. Bad man, musician,
Anita.
bad-minded people.
Bad-minded people, yes. Run them.
But musician, play a song. I said not because where I live right now is in shambles. But about a deep in our hearts, I live humble.
Yes.
10,000 bad man, gunman living around you, and you're living in fear. I know I have no army, and I don't care. Hey, and if I feel living in your society, yeah, God forbid, because you don't like me, no.
Yeah, the family of Ras Elroy Bailey need assistance from we, you know. Yes. So all the people that are Hackney, you understand, Clissow Park School, the ones them that even keep that dance there. Yeah, man, stretch out and see what they them can do and support the situation. We must talk about them something there, because there's some of us are fall out, and next thing you know, the families need help. Things gone wrong. So we give you the Islamic understanding of death. Oh, you do that. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Guidance. Yes.